Greetings! My name is Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved, and welcome back to Sunless Seed. Last time, we convinced, Bathook, in Nook, to care about the outside world again. Well, more we reminded him that he did care about it, that he did still care about it. But that's, splitting hairs. And I'm very much against animal cruelty, so I would never do that. That's a joke, by the way. I'm not against animal cruelty. Fuck the animals. Not literally, though. That's a bit extreme. And also, we convinced the one bozo over in Eagle to stop being a weirdo, taking on other people's regrets. Well, I guess you could say he was an addict. Anyways, now it's time to... Well, we'll swing by here and the Salt Lions first, but then we go to Rack and ruin... No. Then we... Yes, swing by to Rack to pick up the Propagandist. Dash it all, what was his name? Right, I wouldn't say. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Yes. Yeah, and then... Zeal for it. I wonder if that's like a nautical Z sort of thing, or if it's just... Anyways. Drop off the impolite investigator. I imagine him just picking him off the ship, literally. The impolite investigator listlessly watches the unmaker's toil beneath the Sphinx stone bricks. Before he disembarks, the impolite investigator turns to you and asks, "You magnificent bastard, why did you fight to maintain an illusion will kill a city?" Why do you assume that I was... You did not... Because I didn't know whether or not it was an illusion or not, okay? You didn't convince me that it was an illusion. You utterly failed to do so, and you just assumed that I'd go along with it, that I was as convinced as you, even though I don't even know why you were convinced. Idiot. Not to mention what you would have done would have killed the city either way. What do you gain? What? No, sod it. For once I think I'd rather not know. Good day. With that, he walks down to the wedding plank and into the Salt Lions. Wow, I gained nothing from that. What a douchebag. Not even a perfunctory boarding fee. Anyways, I've got some free space. Might as well fill it up with Sphinx stone. And now, to Rack. While we're on the way there, it's weird how... I just find it interesting how much better the submarine stuff is than the regular, the Untersea continent is than the regular Untersea stuff. Because it just, I don't know, just so much more detailed and lively, and there's so much more to find on your way around, all the random discoveries and shit. Just so much better designed. I just wish they had done more. I sort of understand that, you know, it's, you know, they didn't, that you know, they might have had more time and money to do it. There an expansion and all that. I wish they had done something like an expansion of that. Of such skill with the regular stuff, the stuff above the waves. Alright, now visit this guy. We could get the mirror from him right now, but go through this whole storyline, which I should really do, which I'm planning on doing anyways at some point. Then we can get it for free rather than having to pay a price for it. So, yeah, what he wants us to do is chase the tether, but to chase the tether we need scrap, And to get scrap, we need to go wrecking. Alright. Next up, Khan's Heart. Oh, wait. Isn't that literally where I went the last time I went wrecking? Weird. A strange coincidence. But yeah, so we gotta lure people. We've got to lure ships over to the water above rack. Well, I guess it's not that unlikely that it would be the same one. I mean, there's only like 3 places that you wind up going. Alright, Khan's Heart it is then. First, port report. But yeah, like going through the storyline, it's useful because the rewards that you get at the end for going through the storyline are very nice. And in the process of doing this will increase the state of the city. And right now, it's struggling rack, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You can get some useful stuff from struggling rack, but if you increase it high enough, up to, well, 17 or higher, then it becomes prospering rack. And prospering rack is handy because it has some great prices for some things, most notably fuel and supplies, which actually are, it's actually the best cost for fuel, the same as the Iron Republic, and a good ways away from it. A nice, more central location. And the best cost for supplies this side of the Cumian Canal. Yeah, literally the best outside of the ridiculously low cost of the surface supplies. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. And also a couple other things. Anyways, so Khan's Heart then. Don't leave me here alone. Don't tell me that I've grown, for I've been loved a little while. I don't wanna be alone. I wanna find a home, and I wanna share it with you. What the? Okay, that looked a bit odd. Alright. Nice thing about the Khan's Heart is that it's very hard to miss. Because, like, sometimes it's, you know, the ports can wind up missing it. Like, one time I was trying to go to Venderbite, wound up in Mount Palmerston. Before I realized I'd gone too far. You wouldn't have seen that because that was a failed recording because the game just decided not to record any sound for some stupid reason. Anyways, let me just drop off a couple of... I don't actually remember which ones are more profitable here aside from Cumin Canal and the Dawn Machine place. Anyways, lure the adventurer to rack. Alright. Nice. 7. Good number. Where am I going? I don't know what I was looking for there. Let's see. Find your contact. 92% chance. I like those odds. Yeah. And there's strategic information. Nice. I could get vital intelligence here if I want. Although there's a joke here to be made about seeking intelligence. Okay, let me just... Okay, that's really weird. The wiki page for this place is very wrong. Like, bizarrely wrong. Whatever. No skin off my nose. Or is it skin off my teeth? Might as well grab another mirror catch box. You never know when you might need one of those. And I could really use another cask of mushroom wine. I feel like I'm gonna need it at some point. Where can I even get mushroom wine? London. I probably should go back to London at some point to drop off all this Sphinx stone. Yeah, might as well do it right now. And I might as well drop off the pirate code over in Gatesmoor while I'm here. Here we go. Put them ashore. A friendly departure. It's almost a shame to rob an adoring fan, but sadly I can't make an exception for you, the pirate poet says with a smirk while standing at one of the piers of Gatesmoor. Her crew left already a while ago, but you're still caught up in a verbal sparring match with her. Her confidence that next time she'll be the one who has to offer you a ride back home isn't diminished by the fact that you won the last 4 battles. On the contrary, the challenge seems to fuel her motivation even further. At last, the fierce clay woman departs, and you watch after her somewhat wistfully. If you're honest, you look forward to continuing your dance with her. The thought makes you grin. A sea captain wishing for pirates. Who would have expected that? I always wish for pirates. It's always nice when you stumble upon them and rob them blind. Oh, that's new. Wait. Oh, I think that's the, oh, I think I've gotten to the point where I can now have the tryst with her again. Well, I'll do that next time I come by. Anything else? No? I don't think so. Alright. For London. Ooh! That was a narrow thing. Not that it would have mattered, since I could just easily repair. Ooh, speaking of pirates. Alright. Oh. Another present from the scholar. Some supplies. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, right. Sphinx stone. There we go. 37.50. So yeah, that's a profit of about, yeah, 15 echoes each. Hence, so 150, that'd be, yeah, 2,250. Oh yeah. Star Wars, baby. Alright. Awesome. Ah, another one of these. Humian Canal. Sure, I can swing by there. Huh? Oh. If I didn't want to go through the whole thing with Bourdain, I could convince the diplomat to join as the propagandist. It's certainly an idea. But, and honestly, I'd take it. I'd take it in a heartbeat. But I just really like Bourdain. You'll see why. Just, he's a great character. Even though you barely actually meet him. Anything else? Oh, right. I should spend some time with my family to reduce terror. There we go. Anything I need to buy? Oh yeah, of course. I need to buy mushroom wine. And that should be good. But yeah, next time I do a load of Sphinx Stone, well, because like each load of Sphinx Stone that you do could potentially be your last for reasons. And the last one is a lot more profitable. So you want to do like as much as you can get away with. So next time, what I'm gonna do is just like store everything that I can store. And then like roll in with like as little as few supplies and fuel as I can possibly get away with. In fact, I can definitely get away with having no supply, if I think about it. I probably won't even need to resort to cannibalism. But even if I do, well, I've got plenty of crew. So that just means I'll have to figure out how much fuel I use on a voyage there and back. And just rolling with exactly that, or that and slightly more, I suppose. Obviously, I probably won't be an even amount of supply. And yeah. Shouldn't need to use the full power. Especially since I can resort to cannibalism if need be. So yeah. That should certainly save on a bit of efficiency, and obviously lights off the whole way. And then, oh boy. Wonder how much I'll be able to get. I should be able to get away with at least 220 I think that's about it. I think that's about how much I'll be able to get away with, 220. Maybe more if I ditch some, if I get, 240 and ditch a bit of it, that'd probably be efficient. But that's neither here nor there. That'll probably won't be in this episode. Okay. Did it produce and say what? That's odd. Alright. Looking again. I'm gonna need... If I recall, the amount that I need is... I'm gonna need like 4 scrap. And I get... Which means... And since I get 1 scrap for every 5 ships I lure here... rounded down, I think. Yeah. Okay, vendor buy next. I hate those little current things. Even if you're going in the exact same direction they're going, they still somehow slow you down. It doesn't make any sense. Now, just take it do northwest. To the northwest. Dirty dishes. Man, those Khanate submarines are bloody everywhere. Oh. What the fuck is that? That was odd. Right. Ancient captains stand idly at the dock. Though their bandages have yellowed, their uniforms are well washed. Spin them a story of a last hurrah. You approach 3 of the captains. They smell like moldering cakes. What sights they must have seen, you say, in their years on the Z? Bones pop and crack as they exchange glances. They croak a few words, on beasts they escaped, romances they had, ports where they made a difference. And what, you ask, of those beasts that escaped? Those romances that they discarded, the ports where they did more harm than good. Of course, they reply, they'd set things right if they had one last adventure. As it happens, you have the charts to a place in need. Alright. Ah, crap. Hang on. Fuck. Man. Anyways, a familiar face. Harpote is here, performing for a crowd outside the limpet. Yeah, I've done all this already. Okay, let's see if any of it's different because of the mod. Not like you didn't share drinks and stories before with each other, but that was at Z. Here you are at land without being forced to be together by the confinement of a ship. What is going to happen? Let's see. As before, a tryst with the pirate poet. You fought many times. Tales of your mighty battles are told across the Neath. Your names are often spoken together. Is this the next step? An alleyway consummation. The pirate poet's caress is the slow pressure before the earthquake. The softness of silt slipping through fingers. Clay and flesh twist, grapple, entwine. An advantage pressed. A counterattack enthusiastically welcomed. The smell of sweat, the taste of gunpowder. A few stolen minutes behind the limpet that could never last long enough. The pirate poet pulls her hood back over her bald head. You have seen more of my poetry than most now. Those are verses from another time. I carved them, but it was your city made them part of my clay. I keep them as a promise to myself that never again will your people get to leave their marks upon me. She hesitates. But I will give you the chance, if you will do me the same honor. Alright, as before. A back tattoo. The pirate poet finishes composing a short poem, handing it to the needleman to transcribe and decorate. It is a piece I give you to wear, but not to know. She smiles. Let us pretend mirrors do not exist. Your tattoo is complete. The pirate poet awaits hers. Yes, and of course, your own face. It seems appropriate. The pirate poet rolls her eyes at your choice. She closes them as the tattooist fits a drill bit and begins. If she feels any pain from his work, it doesn't show. And it is done. No more words are needed between you. Next time you meet, it will be at Z, rivals once again. Tonight, though, you simply bid each other goodnight with a nod, and part company with tattoos still raw on skin and clay. No, I don't think that was any different, but still damn good writing, though. Ooh, this is different, though. Oh. Well. Guess I'll find out what's up with that next time I drop in by there. Alright, what's this here? 15. You know, let's see. Anyway. You know, last time I got pretty good luck with this and actually managed to get... Because, like, there was a whole thing where I already recorded the whole stuff with Rack, but it didn't fucking record for some stupid reason. Last time I got better luck, and it was already at 17 by this point. So you know what? Since I had to reset to a previous save for recording reasons, I'm going to set that right. God damn, is it bullshit. It's so annoying how when you lure the stuff there, one of the increases is completely random, and in fact you can actually lose prosperity of Rack. There we go. The whole thing of like the dynamic shop stuff is a pretty neat mechanic, but the actual mechanic by which it works is not all that fun to deal with. And anyways, even if it was, I already did it one time. I'm not doing it again. Here we go. Consider this here the city. The wreckers are looking flush. They have done well. No, I have done well. Supplies have floated from the broken ships like manna from heaven. The city is bigger too, with the new wrecks added to it. The king has given one of the new hulls a name in Gaelic. Few understand the meaning, but everyone is sure it was selected in your honor. I'm, touched, I guess? Ah, yes. Here you can buy torpedo components and romantic literature for a good price. And it's also a good place to get sapphires, especially since it's right next to Pigmode Isle, where you can get Skintalack. And, most importantly, fuel for 8 echoes and supplies for 15. Oh yeah. Star Wars, baby. Alright. Now then. Cash in our wrecking. Here we go. Exactly 20. That should give us 4. Yeah. That should be enough if I do things properly. Here we go. Taste the tether. Now. Grasp the knife. A handle of horn. A polished blade. There are possibilities in so fine an instrument. Is it balanced ever so slightly off? It winks at you in the light. The matron leads you to one of the many doors. You follow her into the darkness beyond. The matron lights a gas lamp. The room is modest, with a well-kept bed in the center. Rest. Allow your mind to wander. When you are ready, I will give you the tether. You look away, allowing your attention to settle on, let's see, the smell of the lamp, smoky and acrid. Tether melts in your mouth. You breathe in the stench, hold it in your lungs. There's nothing like the smell of British engineering, nor like listening to the engine roar of your own vessel, bought and paid for. The impellers whir, the pistons race. She's eager for the wilderness. The sharp driver salutes as she enters. Cargo's loaded. What are you lugging this time? She adjusts her smoked goggles and fakes a Barker's effusive tones. Murgatroyd's inestimable frontier supplies. Affordable, reliable. A taste of old London. You both pull faces. Right? Now. A kaleidoscope. Through its glass. Dizzying color. The sharp driver kicks her feet up onto the panel. You lean back, taking a drag on a cigarette. Beyond the window, the high wilderness shimmers. Dimensions of maddening color. Bright winds that would scour you to dust. Blankets of blazing fog, as long as continents. The last station master said to expect trouble, she says, removing her goggles. You blink. It's always startling how blue her eyes are. She rubs her neck thoughtfully. How do you know that gesture? There was another time, another place, before? Right. Once again, the cup. Lift this empty, silver, modern, engraved with a simple floral scroll. A grandfather clock. Its hands are still. An open bench in Central Park. A miracle. You twirl your walking stick as you sit, glad to rest your old legs. What's the time? You fish your pocket watch from your vest. 1:30. So where's... A footstep in the grass behind you. Someone snatches your top hat. You spring to your feet. Your friend stands there, wearing your hat. That old bastard! You chuckle, swishing your walking stick at the jocular gentleman. He blocks with his cane. You exchange a few bouts, as if you were still boys. Alright. Red curtains. They have been hanging for a long, long time. The touchdown breaks me round into fine. How long until they bring up the curtains? The jocular gentleman scratches his snowy beard. Odin's horse is a full day at the opera. Maybe most of that spent staring at the curtain. You snort, glancing again at your pocket watch. Would you like to bet on when it rises? Loser buys the winner dinner at Delmonico's. He shakes your hand. Accepted. Another quarter hour, I'd say. They'll need to... The lights dim. The conductor walks up to his podium. You wager another minute. Your friend puffs his cheeks. One of his tics. Alright. Let's see. Recall a vision of knives. The fair king has touched his neck before in the same manner that the sharp driver touched hers. Can he do it again for you? The fair king's cheeks flare red. His eyebrows scrunch in confusion. What, like this? He asks, rubbing his neck. 4 fingers thoughtfully stroking the neck, the thumb rolling gently between the collarbones. Just like the sharp driver. The fair king watches you, and nods slowly. He wheels closer and looks at your feet. That's tether for you. Sometimes people find each other. Alright. Recall vision of cups. You've seen the fair king puff his cheeks before, just like the jocular gentleman. Would he do it again for you? The fair king laughs and assumes an air of faux solemnity. If you requested of me, my dear fellow, I shall oblige you, he says, puffing his cheeks before bursting into a fit of laughter. How was that? Was it the gentleman performing the king's gesture, or the king performing the gentleman's? Alright, the fair king's question. He looks at you, searchingly. You've found me, haven't you? In many times and places, but today, what are we? I know you've seen us. We always find each other, and here we are again. So, who are we now? Either you're lovers, friends, colleagues, you can be many things, or you are nothing. Tether is hallucinogenic. There's no truth in the visions. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss such things. This is the Neath, after all. And to be fair, it is sort of true that we find each other in every life, because every time I do a playthrough of this game, I find my way to Rack at some point, you know, for the cheap supplies and fuel mostly. But yeah, I wouldn't say we really know each other enough to be lovers or friends, but colleagues best describes it, perhaps. Business relationship. We certainly profited by each other. Yeah, colleagues. Why not? You shake his hand. The fair king has a fine grip and beams up at you. He laughs just as you heard him laugh at the station when you first met. He wheels his throne to a wall of charts. You stand at his side. He looks up at you. Were his eyes always so blue? You look out at the kaleidoscopic reaches of the high wilderness. You'll do good work together. You adjust a gauge, flick a knob. His hands move across his own panel. The old winds cannot stop you. You shall be co-conquerors of the world. Oh yeah. Star Wars, baby. Fair King's request. There is a small wooden box on his lap. He hands you the box. You flick open the latches. Nestled within the velvet lining is a piece of skintlack you first gave him long ago. I would like you to bury this in the hut. There is a rite we have in Rack. If you find one you're tethered to, and they give you such a gift, it must be buried in the hut so it may grow. Will you do this for me? Sure. But first... Well... Yes, now we can do the whole thing with the ambition. But... Before we do that, we can discuss business. Work together, and the Z will be yours. Together, you and the king study the maps on his wall. His records have heard interesting reports out of Mutton Island. It's being closely eyed by several of the Neath's powers. Murgatroyd may be expanding his reach into the Khanate too, if he can. But of course he will. He's in the hinterlands. The fair king flashes you a look. You're always caught off guard by that blueness. Oh yeah. And that's the other reason why I chose the colleague thing. Because each one has a different reward. The one for lovers can, like, you come here with lovers, with something awaits you. It'll massively reduce your terror down to like a fifth of whatever it currently is. Very nice. If you choose friend, every time you come here, you get some free supplies and, more importantly, visions of the surface, which aren't the most useful thing in the world, but they are very hard to come by. And if you choose that you don't know, then you can get fragments and quite rarely secrets, which would be very useful early on, certainly. But nowadays I've got better ways of getting secrets. And if you choose nothing, well, you don't get anything, obviously. But with this, you get strategic information every time you come here with something awaits you, which is extreme. It's the only reliable way of farming strategic information like that. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it's also one of the only ways of getting vital intelligence as well, if you combine the two strategic information. Because I mean, technically, you can sort of get it more efficiently if you've got really high stats and the networks and all that. But that's not exactly the most reliable thing in the world. But this is reliable. Every time you come here with something awaits you, you get a strategic information for free. Oh yes, we are going to be rolling in strategic information. In fact, this is probably one of the most profitable ways. This is easily among the most profitable ways to spend something awaits you. Maybe the most profitable. I don't know. Certainly the most. Probably the most profitable that requires no setup whatsoever. Well, no setup after no resources rather. It requires setup. Anyways, now there we are. You recognize the reflection inside Miriam's statues. This is Bourdain, the Seven's propagandist. The fair king slaps the side of his throne and seems to rise in indignation. No, you absolutely may not have my mirror. No one may. It is one of our greatest treasures. His expression softens after a moment, though, and he settles back into his throne. Not unless you brought me something more wonderful, of course. I already have, haven't I? Ask the king to gift you the mirror. He will give you anything you ask for. The fair king considers your countenance for a long while. Very well. It takes a dozen hardy wreckers to free the slab of ice. The reflection within it, the thin man, watches the work with curiosity. Calved from Frostfound, the king says. Keep it cold. Alright. You will return. In this life or the next. Probably both. Alright. There we have it. And now... We need to, for some reason, start sailing to talk to him. Bourdain in ice. He watches you through the chipped, frosty surface. When he asks if he can hear you, when you ask if he can hear you, he nods curtly. Excuse me. There we go. Invite him to rejoin the Seven, as their propagandist. He leans forward, the ice distorting his reflection, and opens his mouth. Is he trying to say something? There is no sound. He repeats the gesture. Does he mean? You lean in and breathe on the ice, fogging it. Bourdain gives a minuscule smile. Then he raises a finger and begins to draw a message in the fog from the other side. He writes backwards, which necessitates some deciphering. I never left. It is an awkward method of communication, but over the next few hours, you manage to piece together his tale. Bourdain is relatively content with his current state. After the Seven's defeat, he attempted to hide in Frostbound. He failed at the Ruby Room, and this vestige was trapped in the ice. He has a number of agents in the Neath, though, and they are able to communicate with him via... You can't really follow that bit. Suffice it to say, esoteric means. Is he ready to resume the Seven's cause? He writes a final message in your breath. Liberty. Equality. Eternity. See what I mean about Bourdain? Being just the coolest motherfucker. And yes, pun intended. Just like, the man gets fucking frozen in ice and trapped away in that ice, in a mirror of ice, and that doesn't slow him down one bit. It's like all the like so many of the members of the Seven, they split off to do their own thing, find their own safety, but he didn't stop working towards the cause 1 second. And that's why I can't possibly choose the one bozo, the dark, over him as the propagandist, even those would have been much easier. Good shit. Anyways, so yeah, that was the third of the Seven. Bourdain, the propagandist. Just 4 more left, so to speak. Or 3, depending on how you count it, I suppose. Regardless. Next time. Well, I don't actually know where the next one will be. I guess I could go the Undercrow. Maybe Rosegate. I don't think there's any of them there. That's just a light ship. There's this. I haven't been here. That doesn't look like it's a light ship. And I'm fairly certain it's the last undersea port that I haven't properly discovered. Oh, wait, first we're gonna go to Port Carnelian, actually. And there might be one here, I don't know. But yeah, if that's the last one, then it must be there, and then the 6th person is there, and then we're gonna go back. Finding that one. But yeah, so the one in Port Carnelian, that should be a very short trip, which is good, because the next episode will mostly be dedicated to, well, that little storyline I left behind in Gator's Mourn. So I'm fairly certain this is the start of the proper start to the Pirate Poet's storyline from the mod Pirate Poet for Polydream. And that, I'm certain, will take up most of the episode. In fact, if it wasn't for how quick the stuff in Port Carnelian, in Port Carnelian will probably be, I'd still dedicate the whole episode to that, and I just take a gap between them. Rambling now. Anyways, so next time we swing by Port Carnelian, and then we start into the Pirate Poet and Polydream and what have you. Until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. So long, suckers.